Hi there, this is Esther from ESZTERCISE, and I'm gonna perform a quick little wall Pilates. So you just have your feet pressed on the wall and make sure there's a 90-degree angle between the knees, and we're gonna start with some single leg lifts. So you're just pulling your knees close to the chest, a little bit start working the core, warming up the legs, and then start pointing out. Little, I would say, toe taps by stretching out your legs, single leg stretches, and make sure that you exhale as you tap. If you do 8 total, 4 for each side, that's absolutely perfect. And then we're gonna go to the next one, arms kept on the side, start twisting the knees from side to side. It's very good using the wall here because that's gonna keep your legs in the right position. Make sure your knees and feet together, and make sure that you keep your shoulders on the ground while twisting the knees from side to side. Strengthens the core, stretches out the lower back. It's such a great exercise to start your day when you do a wall Pilates. And then after you did 8 repetitions total for each side, we're gonna go to 8 to 10 repetitions in general for each exercises, but 8 gonna be the most frequent. The next one gonna be the 100. So this is a typical exercise in the mat Pilates. So you just pushing down 100 times while you inhale through 5 counts and exhale through 5 counts. So this is what you're gonna do: inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna do this 10 times, and that's gonna be the 100. Make sure that you inhale and exhale persistently. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And just keep doing. It's gonna be a little bit. So once you finish with the 100, we're just gonna move the arms a little bit just to warm the arms up a little bit further. Take your arms back, overhead, and then lower, up and lower. So also stretches out the upper back a little bit, moves your shoulders around. And you want to go to 8 repetitions in this case as well. I may do 10, but 8 is fine. And then from here, we're going to do the dead bug, but on a way that you want to a little bit move away from the wall. So you're going to have enough space to stretch the leg out. You're stretching out opposite arm and leg. So while you're stretching out one leg, you're reaching back with the opposite arm. Doing 12 repetitions, 6 each side, it's perfectly fine. Make sure that you keep the lower back on the floor, and that's actually an easier way if you love it, move your leg upwards, because that will keep your lower back on the floor. Okay, next one we're working the inner thighs and doing some arm openings at the same time. That will work the chest muscles as well, and the arms. Let's do 8 total from this exercise. And then once you finish your repetitions, then we're gonna do some knee circles. Keep your hands over the knees. I would say 2 circles each direction, inward and outward circles. And then let's go to the next exercise. A little bit come closer to the wall. Make sure there isn't that 90-degree angle in the knees. Your back is on the floor, and then we start doing the bridges. So this is gonna give an extra intensity, because since you're having your feet lifted, you're gonna lift your pelvis higher. That gives an extra intensity for the bridges. Make sure when you lift your pelvis, you squeeze your glutes and keep your pelvis a little bit lifted for a few seconds, and then lower. Repeat this 8 times total. So you're gonna do 8 repetitions total from this exercise. Really squeeze your glutes. Do your best squeeze when you lift the pelvis. And then we're going to enhance this exercise further by lifting one leg off the floor, keeping that leg extended and just holding this pelvis lift. Then you're gonna lift the other leg, hold it for a few seconds, stretch it out, nice, and lower. So you wanna keep that hold at least for 4 seconds each hold. Nice. Let's stretch the pelvis, the glutes, knees to chest. Hold it there for about 8 seconds. And then let's do the next exercise, which is going to be the crisscross, opposite elbow to the knee. It's also good to do by the wall, so because it just gives enough space for you to extend each leg at a time. Let's do 16 repetitions total. Make sure you do 8 on each side. Nice. And then let's roll up. Good so far. So working with the spine, you want to have your feet just right by the wall. You want to flex your feet. We're going to do some spine stretch forward. So you can see when I come back in the center, I have a very flat back. If you're struggling to do that, make sure that you bend your knees slightly, because maybe your hamstrings are a little bit tight, which is okay. We haven't even stretched the hamstrings, so that's fine. So just keep the back straight and then all the way reach forward. And when you're reaching forward, you want to keep it there for 2 to 3 seconds and then back. You will repeat this 8 times total. Nice. Next is the saw, SAW, reaching the opposite foot with the opposite hand. Yeah, so with the opposite hand, you're reaching the foot and then having the other arm behind you. And again, in this case, you also keep your back flat when you come back to the center. I would say go to 12 repetitions total, 6 each side. Alright, for the next one you can bend your knees a little bit. Let's turn around and continue the exercises from a different position, which is going to be the quadruped. So let's continue working on the core and the glutes. Just start lifting one leg at a time and stretch it out. And then you can keep tapping the opposite shoulder first. If you have any shoulder issue, you can continue with that. If you don't, just reach out with the opposite arm. This is the opposite arm and leg Pilates exercise. So the reason why I very much like the wall here, because that's gonna make you concentrate on reaching instead of overlifting, because you just really want to reach the wall. You don't want to overlift the left leg. And once you're ready with 8 repetitions, you're gonna do the same on the other side. If you have shoulder issues, just stepping the shoulder. You don't even need to use the arm. If you want to modify, or the opposite arm and leg, you can do here as well, and you will do 8 repetitions on this side. Try to not let your hip turning from side to side Keep your hips still, only moving the arm and the leg. Concentrate on the arm and the leg and concentrate on reaching again instead of overlifting. Try to keep an alignment between arm, leg, and torso. All right, good. Let's do a little child pose just to stretch the lower back, stretch out your whole back. It's only going to be a few seconds. After that, let's move back onto the legs again. Lift one leg and start sliding it to the side. The wall will help you because you're going to try to keep your foot by the wall and just only move your leg to the side and back. Let's do 8 repetitions from this exercise, and then once you finish with the 8 repetitions, you're going to lift the opposite arm and start sliding or moving the arm to the opposite side. 6 repetitions will be enough from this exercise, absolutely. That's perfectly fine. And then when you've finished a little bit, you can stretch your back and then do the same on the other side. Make sure that you position yourself right so you have enough space to keep your legs stretched, and you want to have your foot by the wall. And then from side to side. Yes. Sorry, from center to side. Yeah, make sure to position yourself right. Okay. Nice. And kind of you can also tap your toes each time on the wall. So you tap it in the center and tap it on the side, so that way you make sure that you have your foot by the wall. Once you finish with the 8, lifting the opposite arm, 6 repetitions, arm moves to the opposite side. Nice. And once you finished with 6, then that's it. Let's go a little bit closer to the wall. Have your whole feet pressed on the wall and do a few pregnant cats. So when you do a pregnant cat, you round your back and then you have a flat back. You round your back with an exhale. 6 repetitions is fine, 4 to 6 repetitions. You choose whichever is the best for you. And then the tail wag. So when you do the tail wag, you're lifting one foot and you look at your foot, how dirty or clean it is. Try to just only move your head. And also if you feel any dizziness, either do this slowly or just skip this exercise. Let's roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Go as close to the wall as possible. Slowly roll up. The wall is gonna help. Inhale, arms up, and then go back onto the floor. I want to just do a couple of side stretches, but before you do that, just make sure that not only your feet by the wall, but also your whole back, because we want to utilize the wall. Just a stretch to each side 1 time. That's perfectly fine. And thank you so much for participating. Stay tuned for the next video.